Good morning. Bishop Gregg L Greer, president of Freedom First International. Listen, I wanted to take a minute to talk to everyone and just clear up a couple of things that have been on my heart to really address. And with that in mind, over the course of the past several months, those who have been following know that we are on the front lines and really in a heavy battle to fight and bring justice to women of color all around the community, all around Chicagoland. And one, it's really the most serious issue that I've dealt with in my ministry and in my social justice work. As many of you very well know, anywhere between 50 to 75 women since 2001 have been murdered due to a serial killer who is frequenting the community. And why do we know that it's a serial killer? And yes, quote me on that. It is a serial killer. Why do we know? Because of the murder patterns. I'm not saying this. I'm in agreement, and I am totally saying it now. But even before we got to that point, several organizations have come together, even officials who are saying the same thing. There is a serial killer in Chicago. This person has taken the lives of anywhere from between 50 to 75 women. Why do we say such a high level of disparity? 50 to 75, Bishop Greer is a huge number. Yes, it's a huge gap. But we're talking about women who are missing, women who are turning up missing, and the bodies are turning up. Where are those bodies turning up? That's the question. This is the key. And this is why we are saying that it's a serial killer. Where those bodies are turning up in back alleys and turning up in apartment complexes, abandoned buildings, that is, and dumpsters, run down, dilapidated garages. Yes, and yes. And what has to happen is, in our effort, we've been on the front lines and we've taken this thing all around the country to every media organization who can hear it, even my own. We've been talking about this thing, and we have been the main voice of the community to try to bring an effort and bring attention to this issue. But I'm going to tell you what, City Hall, the CPD and its leadership, including Eddie Johnson, have made it clear that they refuse to do anything that is necessary, and certainly will not investigate the unsolved murders of these women. This is a problem, folks. This is a huge problem, community. And we need all the hands on the front lines that we can to get this problem addressed. We've been out to the FBI, when we started this thing, the chief of police said the FBI is investigating. But we come to find that there is no open case file. We've been out to the Illinois crime police lab, right? The forensics science lab of the Illinois police, I should say, because we wanted to draw attention to that. And the fact that they have a backlog, quote me on this, and you can check it out and call them yourself and ask them, but there's a 2-year backlog of the Illinois Police Lab investigating evidence, DNA and otherwise, which would help bring closure to a lot of these cases. And a lot of the families are in limbo of these murdered loved ones, because there is no justice, because they've been waiting on justice. Sad state of affairs. What are we to do, and what is our recourse? Well, I simply want to talk to some of the sisters and some of the people who are involved, have been involved, and simply say that if you are living in some of the impoverished communities, some of the minority communities in Chicago, statistics say, survival in those communities is less likely than downtown and the affluent community. So we got to take precautions, meaning As a sister, I'm telling you guys, sisters, when you are out there and you're walking around in public, please be aware of your surroundings. Don't go into any areas by yourself at night that will compromise you, that if somebody grabs you, you got to really take this thing seriously for what it is. When you pull up in a parking lot, if you're driving, be aware of who's in the car next to you. Don't pull up when you see people sitting in the car. If you do, go to another spot, right? Some of you do that, but I'm saying we need to make it a procedural habit of doing these things. Take precautions. Let people know where you're going. It's okay. Check in. Let them know, look, mom, my sister, I'm going to the grocery store, and I'll be back in 30 minutes. That's fine. Do these things on the regular, and it's a shame that we have to have rules that we live by in order to govern ourselves just to survive. But at this point in time, the question in the comment in the quote of the hour is, we have to have rules that we govern ourselves just to survive. So what I'm saying at this point is, please, we can't wait on City Hall. I say it time and time again. You guys have heard me in speeches. If you haven't, we can't wait on City Hall, the State House. We can't wait on the mayor. The president of the United States, definitely we can't wait on him, because it ain't even happening. Don't even look that way. As a matter of fact, if you're talking about doing anything with the White House, forget about it. All right, we'll leave it at that. I want to close this by simply saying that right now we should be thinking about survival in our communities. Right now, we should be thinking about how to best preserve our lives, the lives of our family members, our loved ones, and our children, our neighbors. We should be thinking about these things. And my other last thing is, we got to go back to the block clubs, the community associations, because that's where you're going to get the leadership. We're not going to find leadership at anywhere else, but you have to have a connection to the people who can best help your circumstance and your situation. I'm just saying, it is time for change. We have to change the way we're thinking, we have to change our mindset, and we have to change our paradigm. A few days ago, we were out at a site where a young lady was murdered, and we are praying for the family of that young lady. We are praying that they find justice. And at the same time, we went out to highlight that the murders of black women continue. And I am wanting to address this with all of my heart, to say this simply. When you turn on the TV, it seems like children and women are being murdered in mass numbers. Black men are being incarcerated. This is not an indictment of anyone else, any other race, but what I'm saying is, we got to wake up, people. We really have to know about what's going on in the sign of the times and what it's telling us. And it's no secret that we are in mortal danger. I'm going to say that again. We are in mortal danger. If you don't believe it, then do the research yourself. Check in with me. Let me know how you feel. What are some of the things that we can do in order to affect change around the community? And we're doing those things from a standpoint of Freedom First International, my platform. We've got Bishop Don Adams, our vice president. We've got folks who have been with us in our affiliate partners, Violence Interrupters, young man who's been with me on my side, Elder Pewsley, Joseph. Quite a few good people around the country in our social justice networks, over 50. And these are people who are on the front lines doing the work. And I wish I could tell you, and we are looking at vehicles to let you know who these people are, so we can start connecting the dots. And not only do we have to connect the dots on a national level, but we have to think about it. And I want you to think about this. Let's think about how we can connect the dots internationally, and really, once and for all, bring a final solution to address the suffering of people of color. We're not saying that that's ever going to happen, but that should be our beginning goal, our end goal, and the end result. Even if it doesn't come in this lifetime, we tried our best. We tried our best. We tried our best. Be careful when you're out there, people. I love y'all. Bishop Greer, President of Freedom First International. Bishop Gregg L Greer. Drop me a line, look me up. But I really want to know what you think. God bless y'all.